Hi everyone, Rosemary with Craft with Ro. How are you today? Happy Sunday. Today we go live and we are going to share with you your craft along featuring the Sunflower Embossing Folder. I'm going to show you 4 different ways to create this card, and there's so many more. These are just a few that I'm sharing with you for this month's craft along. So stay tuned. I'm going to go down on my hands and we are going to get crafting. So before I share with you, I thought I'd take the opportunity. Have you seen one of our newest kits? This is called the Road to Christmas kit. It is so cute. And you get to make 4 cards of each. Perfect for the holidays. Fun, quick, great way to get a good start on your holiday cards. So I kind of blinged them up a little bit. So here is the one card. Look how fun and beautiful this is. But can you see what I did on here? I'm going to try to capture it. I actually took some Wink of Stella and I added some shimmer to the background to show like it's snow in the background. I'm not sure if this camera is really picking it up, but very cute card. And look how cute these envelopes are. And then the next one is, so oops, my little dog, he's crooked. Let me see if I can fix that, guys. Okay, so this one, sending loads of Christmas cheer. So fun. You've got accent pieces to put in here. Nice pop-up. And then I used our low profile dots on here. I thought they were the perfect color for this card. So again, you get to create 4 of these. And this kit is only $14. So check it out on my website. www.craftwithro.stampinup.net. All right, so we are going to create 4 cards tonight, this afternoon. It's not nighttime yet. And our first card here is this beautiful card. We've done a gold emboss and we did a deboss technique. So we're going to be using this Sunflower 3D embossing folder. It has sold out so many times, and I just noticed that it's on low inventory today. Crazy how many times this is sold out. Hi Sharon, how are you? You can hear me, but I'm very soft. Let me see if I can increase it just a little. Tell me if that's a little better. I'm trying to avoid any feedback. And obviously I thought I fixed it. So, but thank you for letting me know. All right, so here is the card that our first card that we're going to create today. And I am coordinating all these cards with the brand new Label Me Grateful stamp set. I love this stamp set. It's a clean set, but I love all these beautiful accent pieces that go along with it as well. So we are going to get started. I've pre-cut everything for the most part, and some of it I had to practice. So we are using 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. We are using our gold foil. This is the piece that we are going to be embossing. And let's see what else I have in here. Actually, it looks like I might have one kit still available, guys, if anybody is interested. All right. So, again, on this embossing folder, you have an emboss, and deboss here. So what we are going to do on this first one, we're going to take our Versamark and we're going to go on the deboss side. Wait a minute. we are going to take our Versamark and we're going to spread around on here. I just want to double check that I'm making sure I got this correct. Okay. We are going on this side right here, I believe. If not, we'll redo it. And I even practiced this up front, but I want to make sure I get a really good coating on Versamark on here. And we are going to run this through the emboss machine, which is right behind me. And all I need is my base, because this is a 3D, my base plate and my gray plate. Yep, that's perfect. So as you can see here, I have the gold on the deboss side. And now we're going to just take some gold embossing powder. And what I use is a must have flown off my table. Yep. I use a coffee filter to pour in. I'm going to just grab my little tweezers here. And I have a spoon. And we are just going to spread this all over. And this is a great way to, using the coffee filter, getting all of your embossed powder back into its little container. There are so many different tips that you can use for this, such as just take a piece of folded paper. But because I'm using so much of this, I wanted to make sure, I want to make sure I get all the corners. There we go. And I'm not sure if this, nope. Perfect. So now we're just going to easily put that in here. We are going to heat emboss. And it's going to get a little loud. So I'll try to talk over the heat. And when I'm heat embossing, I always go in circles. You don't want to burn it, but you're going to see the magic start kicking in. And on this particular piece, I do encourage you to make sure you're really good at getting those edges. I just love, love, love how this gold deboss actually looks outstanding. It really, really pops. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Hi, Vicki. So we are just making our craft along using the Sunflower Embossing Folder. And I'm going to show you 4 different ways of using this embossing folder. And like I said, I'm going to be extra cautious about getting it right along the edges there, making sure everything is melted. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now we're going to take our 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. You can either score it at 4 1/4 or take the easy way out like I do and just fold it in half. We are going to mount this to our gold foil paper. You guys should have all received this in your craft along kit. Just going to center it right inside there. And we are going to mount this on the top part of our card. Right there. I'm going to see if there makes it. Oh, I think I like it that way. All right, so then we have, this is very vanilla. We're going to mount that right to the bottom there. But before we do that, we are going to add some of this beautiful open weave ribbon. I think that's, yep, open weave. It's just going to go right along there. See if I can zoom in a little for you guys. I'm going to bring it right around. Adds that little extra technique there. And I just realized I didn't grab my scissors. Always forget something. I think I can tighten that up just a little. There we go. And then we're going to add some adhesive right to the bottom here. Attach that. How pretty is that? Love that little accent. Hi, Jane. How are you? And we are going to use the Label Me Grateful stamp set. And I'm going to put on here, you are the best. And I'm going to use our early espresso. Oh, I hate when I do that. But we can always hide that with some embellishments after. So I'm going to pop that right on here. And then we're going to add a dimensional just to give it a little pop. So I don't have any embellishments here with me, but I will just be covering that up with some little dots there. But there we go. That is card number 1, and that is the de-embossed technique. Hi, Wendy. How are you? All right. Let's go on to card number 2. But before I do that, I really need to clear off this embossing powder. There we go. And our next one is really fun, and we're going to be using some blends on this card right here. I'm going to get these extra pieces out. Like I said, it appears that I have one extra kit available in this craft along, if anybody is interested. But look how fun this card is. And this card, we're going to start off with a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. And our card base is going to be espresso again. And on this particular one, we are going to emboss this. It doesn't matter which way you put this in your machine to emboss. Okay, so we have our embossed card, but what we're going to do is we are going to color on the debossed side. Again, focusing on that deboss. And the two colors that I'm bringing in here are Daffodil Delight and Lemon Lolly. We're going to go with the Daffodil Delight, and because I like a brighter card, I'm using the dark shade of the blends. And on this one, what's really fun is you don't have to stay in the lines at all. And you can choose what other colors you want. These two, I think, are really great colors for this card. Obviously, for sunflower, right? I just realized that I'm going to have to grab a green marker, and most likely I will go with, probably Mossy Meadow on here. And the tricky part on creating this card just like this is that you want to make sure that you're getting all your debossed areas colored in. But if you don't, you're going to have some really cool accents. All right, that looks like a leaf. This looks like it's a flower. Again, really easy just to create, go right inside these little petal areas, anything that's de-embossed. See how it's coming out on the other side, but we're not using the other side. Hi, Kim, you made it. So I'm rushing and I'm trying not to get too sloppy. I'm using the brush end of this because if we use the thinner one, it would really take long. But if you had a lot of detail, you would definitely want to use the thinner. Like here, I probably should be using the thinner. And I know this is probably the least boring part to watch, but wait till you see our last step when we do create this. It's going to be so cool looking. And like I said, if you go outside the lines on here, and this particular technique, it's a-okay. Okay, so this looks like a leaf, 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 leaf. And it looks like we have a little bit of flower here. And I am going to choose not to color in that part right there. All right, so we're going to go with the inside of my it's this brighter lemon lolly. And let me just grab my green marker. I am choosing to go with the thinner, lighter shade on the Mossy Meadow. And just going to color in these leaves. And again, I'm not so worried about getting every single part covered or colored. The next is going to really pop these leaves. Right, it's looking a little saucy, right? And see a couple spots I missed up here. Okay, very cool. I know it doesn't look like much, But wait, now we're going to take my early espresso. No, that was Mossy Meadow, Cynthia. And I am going to green down the center of this. Trying to go as even as I can. Right? So I do have a few areas I want to just touch up. This is the spot that I thought it was going to pick up. But we're going to go in here with green. We're going to go in here with green. And then we can leave that white, right? Or we can bring in another color yellow. We can bring in pecan pie. Which is what I'm going to do. I think the white was just a little too stark. I love the way that part came out. Love it. And there we go. So now we're going to take our card base, 8.5 by 5.5, score it at 4 1/4 or fold in half. All right, we're going to just, nope, before we do that, I am going to take some, whoa. Now, you guys know I'm very, very challenged with making a bow, but with this thicker weave, I honestly can do a better job. Watch me say that, and I follow it up, but nope. So everybody who ordered this also received the weave, a whole roll of this ribbon. There we go. Nice. We're going to put a little adhesive. Add it right to the front. I love how that little bling comes out. And then again, using the Label Me Grateful, we're going to grab the thank you stamp. Again, we're going to stamp it, hopefully without making a blemish. And these die cuts are from our Stylish Dies. To me, they are a basic item to have in your stash. They're definitely my go-to. Perfect. And we will pop that up with a dimensional. Oops. guys see me? I almost put that on upside down. All right, that is card number 2. How fun is that? Very fun, simple technique. You just need the patience of coloring. All right, the next one here is very similar to what we just did, except we are going to be using blending brushes and some, again, some more swiping and ink color. So in this particular kit, as you can see here, you can create the type of look that you want. It depends on how, here I went really light, here I embossed really dark. So we're going to take, again, the white piece of cardstock. Like I said, I have an extra kit available. And we're going to emboss this again. It doesn't matter which way you emboss it. Okay, so we have this part right here. We have embossed. And what we are going to do on here is we are going to swipe again on that debossed side. And in this particular case, I am going to be using our Blackberry Bliss. You want to make sure that when you start swiping, the way you are swiping, that the case isn't going to open up on you. Like I don't think it will this way with it. So we're going to just go down, and I'm going to try to go a little bit lighter. Nope. So I used a heavier hand, but look how cool this is going to be. So on this particular one, we are going to use pecan pie, we are going to use old olive, and I'm going to use crushed curry on here. So in here, instead of doing all that coloring, I'm just going to go in and we're going to start blending with a blending brush. And quite honestly, I'm not too worried about how dark it's going to come out because it's so blended, but it's just going to, this just creates a softer look. And I like doing the background first because it makes it easier for me to see where I'm need to color in the yellow versus the leaves. And it's okay if you blend a little bit over because it's just all going to come together. All right, look how cool that's coming out. So nice. And I love the way the purple picks up on the leaves, on the veins, right? And let's do the leaves. I'm just gliding that. I could probably use a smaller brush on this one, but looks like it's working out pretty good. Then we are going to go with our pecan pie. And I did go with a smaller brush on here. It's going to go around the circles here, and then I'm going to go back on the inside with the crushed curry again. Right? Fun, easy, and that was pretty quick. Look how gorgeous that came out. Right? Again, 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4.25, or fold in half. I am going to do the same. We're going to wrap a ribbon around this. Now on this card, I went long way. I was thinking about going short way, but I'll keep it long way. Trying to go with a smaller, tinier ball. So let's see how I can get this to work. Do a little trimming here. I'm going to scooch that over just a little bit. Add our, whoa. And then that goes right on top of there. Look how pretty that is. Peel that excess off that I stuck on there. There we go. We're going to stamp our stylish die dovetail piece, and we're going to use You Are So Appreciated. The Label Me stamp set. And I am going to use our Blackberry Bliss. Take some dimensionals and pop this guy up. So fun, easy cards to, so I don't know about you guys, but I use the whole embellishment dimensional packet. I'm just going to cut that edge off. It's perfect there. Rosemary, Rosemary, Rosemary. All right, we got some more hiding to do with some embellishments, but we're going to go right like that. And again, you have beautiful cards created with just coloring in with blending brushes. That is card number 3. Now card number 4, we are going to go into doing some heat embossing again. And on this card, it's a cute little fun fold, right? We are going to be embossing a much larger part of this on here versus the other one where we debossed. Here we're going to emboss. I'm going to clean out some of these items here that I don't need. We'll need that, we'll need that. We're going to need that. You guys would be so proud of me. The back of my crafter behind me is so clean. I'm going to be showing you guys my before and my after. It's amazing. All right. So on here, we have cut this at 6.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score this at 2 1/8. So we are going to score on the long side. We're going to score at 2 1/8. And there we have our nice little fold there. And then we're using crumb cake as our accent piece. And all of you guys received these pieces here. Actually, I pre-embossed one of the pieces for you. This is using, and I don't have it with me at the moment. Well, maybe I do. The Continue embossing folder. It's that Oriental embossing folder look. And I realized that when I create this card, you won't have it. So you all received this as a pre-emboss in your kit. And that is just going to go, I'm going to go this way with it. Right? How pretty is that? We're going to put that aside. And then we're going to take this piece, which is much bigger than this piece, obviously, but we're going to be trimming this down. And we're going to take our embossing folder. And we are going to emboss. Oops. All right, so we've got the deboss and we have the emboss. So we're going to emboss this side this time. And you're going to apply your Versamark. It's always hard to know if you have it even coated. And we are going to take our very vanilla that you have in and you're going to put that right inside there. And we are going to emboss it. I think I might have embossed this on the wrong side. Let's see how it looks. If not, we'll redo it. I'm going to take my gold embossing powder. I'm going to take my little coffee filter. Oh, I think I did it right, guys. Except we have a little gap here. We're going to try to see if we can not use that section of it. Because like I said, we have a bigger spot than we need. Oops, I'm getting it all over the place, but all right. So I have spilled embossing powder before. Anybody else relate? Not fun. All right, let's get this covered up and we are going to heat emboss this guy. Let the magic begin. Hi Audrey, how are you? Nikki, I'm glad you joined. I would have guessed you would have been out in the yard. It was a great morning to be working in the yard, Nikki. There it goes. Let the magic begin as it's melting around. Again, on this piece, you want to make sure we're going to get the edges of it as well. You want to make sure everything is melted. Always good to flip it over, especially if you have like a troubled area. Thanks, Audrey. I will double check your message. Thank you. All right, here we go. I'm going to move this around a little. You can always tell, like it's a little duller in the spots that aren't embossing. And it's so easy to miss it. But you also want to keep sure that you're moving it around in circles because you don't want to burn it. And it does burn. Trust me, I've done that. All right, I think we're good. All right, so this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So we are going to cut this down to 3. Wait, what did I just say? So to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Right? Let's just double check before I cut. Yep. So 3 1/2. We're going to cut this down to 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Move my little coffee filter out of the way. We're not cutting this. We're cutting our embossed piece to 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And that one section, I want to see if I can push that out of here. So there we have. Now this is going to get mounted right onto here. I do not know why my stamp and seal is jamming on me. There we go. We're gonna center that right inside there. And then we're gonna add this right to here, but I'm gonna make sure that I have it the way I want it. I think that's good right there. So we're only gonna put adhesive on this left side right here. I'm going to bring this over so it comes all the way over to the edge. Center it and bring it all the way over to the edge. Perfect. Now we're going to take our basic beige and we're going to cut this down to fit the edge of it. Now you've got a couple pieces left over, so you can choose which piece that you want. Now I'm going to try to avoid, because I missed that spot right there. So I'm going to take this piece right here. We're going to adhere that right to the edge there and then just trim off the excess. Thank you. Now we're going to stamp the inside of this. And again, we're using the Label Me Grateful stamp set. And on this card, I put in so grateful for that heart of yours. But I think this one I might use a little kindness makes a big difference. And this is my block. And I'm going to grab my crumb cake. Perfect. No bloopers there. And then this, we're just going to center that right on the inside there. So when you open it up, and this is this month's craft along. I wish I was ready for you. I have a really cute craft along that's going to be introduced on October 1st. So if you are interested, please, please, please keep an eye out for your email and or your on my social media page. Please feel free to join me at Craft with Ro on Facebook. So that is card number 4. So we just made 4 fun, beautiful cards. Card number 4. Card number 3. No, this was card number 1. Card number 3. And card number 1. All beautiful, beautiful cards. Easy, fun to make. And again, I do have one extra available if you guys are interested in buying my last card kit. So yeah, it would. It would. Thank you guys so much. Audrey, Sharon, I appreciate it. Nikki. So again, I thank you guys for joining me today on a beautiful Sunday morning. Next month's craft along, I believe, are going to be the cutest little treat bags you've ever seen. And they're going to come in 4 different sizes. So that's going to be fun as well. So follow me or keep an eye out for my emails. So thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you Tuesday night live right here for my weekly show and share. Bye.